on this day in Seventh Day Adventist history, January 6, 1875. The Advent cause, in its infancy, called for positive direction, and surely would have faltered without it. And James White was a forceful leader. But as the years passed, he was inclined to overemphasize, in his own mind, the importance of his position in relationship to the work. The several strokes that he suffered, and the failure of his associates to be as intense as he in their approach to the work, aggravated this situation. James White became sensitive and touchy, and Ellen White tactfully and calmly tried to encourage him to be low-key and take a more rational approach to the problems. The Lord, too, had something to say about it. The entry penned in Mrs. White's diary on Thursday, January 6, 1875, is enlightening. Last night, she writes, I dreamed of being in a schoolhouse. My husband was teaching. He was standing by one of the students who was writing. The teacher would direct, put your pen there. Make a heavier stroke there. Finer strokes here. There you are, commencing wrong again. Then put your pen down. The copy proved to be miserable. The teacher took up the book, and after looking at his copy, threw it down occasionally. That copy is an entire failure, a botched work. I have taken particular pains to tell you just what to do, and about all my care that is in the work you have to show. If this is the best you can do, you might as well leave school at once. The young man was angry, and with flushed face he arose and left the room. The young man that I had often seen in my dreams seemed to be by the side of the teacher. He said to the teacher, you are, to a very large degree, responsible for that miserable copy. The best of writers would have failed under similar circumstances. If the boy had been left to himself and written without so much dictation, he could have produced a fair copy. He could not follow your directions without being confused or spoiling the copy. That poor boy has had too little encouragement and love, and too much censoring for mistakes that are common to all. You make mistakes. You are an erring man. As you wish others to judge, you mercifully do the same to the erring. Give sympathy, give love, and you will find this power will soften and subdue the most wayward, and greatest good will be realized upon your own heart and life. You will feel the subduing influence of the power of love in you. Exercise and cultivate it towards others. You are a teacher. You should represent the great teacher in your sympathy and tender, pitying love. As you love, you will be loved. As you pity, you shall receive the same. With that measure ye met, it shall be measured to you. Again, love is power. It will have a transforming influence, for it is divine. Just how Ellen White may have conveyed this message of counsel and caution to James is not a matter of record. It is not easy to be a messenger of the Lord, as she wrote years later. It has been hard for me to give the message that God has given to me for those I love, and yet I have not dared to withhold it. I do not do a work that is uncongenial to me if I thought that God would excuse me from it. On this day, January 6, 1875, Mrs. White writes of a vision that even her husband, James, was not above reproof from the Lord.